Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Atam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today's guest is Zylo Marshall, and he's a disability rights advocate, and his website is zylomarshall.com. We're going to be talking about reshaping how society views ability, employment, and independence. Zylo, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. So excited to talk to you today. I mean, we got a lot to talk about today, and I feel like this conversation does not get had enough in the media. So I'm happy to bring you on. And just to start off, we'll start this conversation and this interview the way that we start them all, with what we like to call our Mission Matters Minute. So Zylo, at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, for executives, for experts. That's our mission. Zylo, what mission matters to you?
Okay, what mission matters to me is changing the special needs policies for those with disabilities on legal matters. Okay, if you got a disability and it challenges, then you deal with that. The other issue we got to deal with is employment, 9-month trial work periods that help those with disabilities work and get off the system on a 9-month trial work period.
I'm happy to have you on the show, and I love bringing mission-based individuals on to share, how they're doing, what they're doing, and really, what we can all learn from this. So I guess let's go back a little bit in time, Zylo. So I understand that you're a brain injury survivor. Maybe talk a little bit about your background and really how you got into this space of disability rights advocacy.
Well, I was in a car accident as an infant in 1976. Okay, I was in a coma for several weeks, and I was not meant, I was not supposed to live, and I survived that. But growing up, you have the challenges that other kids without disabilities do not understand. You're considered peculiar, strange, different, unusual. And growing up, you got to understand what to and what not to do, and how not to do something. And I was in that realm as a child because I thought, I can do whatever I want, and there are guidelines you got to follow by. And that's one of the challenges those with disabilities face. Those with brain injury, a lot of them are incompetent or not able to do things by themselves, and it's very, very difficult. I wanted to become independent and get off SSI, and become successful, because there's more to life than just sitting at home doing nothing, watching TV.
Yeah.
And it's very, very hard because the government keeps you at a standstill. Because if you want to work, then you're stuck. Because if you fail your job, then you are homeless because you lost your job, and you lost your government benefits.
How has some of this shaped your perspective and how you operate in the disability rights and workplace space? Like how has this shaped your perspective?
Well, there are many people out there with disabilities that want to go beyond just sitting at home. Over 1/4 of the population have a disability. That's and then that's 340 million people. There are 340 million people in the United States.
Yeah,
and over 1/4 of them have a disability, and they need help to do things that they can't do on their own in most cases because they're disabled. And they need help in certain ways, and they can't get that if they don't get the support to become independent and off the system.
And I want to take it a step further, Zylo, because for many of the people listening there, maybe this is going to be the first time that they're aware of this topic. So I just want to make sure we're laying it out right. So, if somebody goes, I don't want to assume everybody knows this. So if somebody right now, the way it stands today, if you want to work and you have, and you get a job and you're disabled and you get these, and you're already getting disability benefits, do you lose those benefits because you got that job, like the essential benefits, or go into like that decision a little bit further? Because I don't want to assume anybody understands or knows that that's a thing.
Well, if you want to get a job,
Mm-hmm.
you have to tell the Social Security Administration that you got a job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you don't tell them, then you've done fraud because you have not informed them that you are working.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so those that want to go out there and do something, they're on their own, they're independent, they don't have people to support them.
Yeah.
And they fail that, they got to spend 6 months to reapply and get back into the system
Yeah.
through an attorney. And what do they got? Well, how can they live in that 6 months without paying rent,
Yeah.
without food,
And
without
so when you
anything else
say
need?
fail, just to make sure that we understand this correctly. So let's say they get a job and for whatever reason it doesn't work out. So they're like, I don't want to be at home sitting around like and just collecting this benefit. I want to go out and try something. I want to be a productive member of society. So they want to go out, they get a job, but they make a decision as soon as they do that to give up their benefits, because they're not going to get those benefits. Am I understanding that correct first? I just want to make sure I understand that right. Yes? They might give up, they might lose their benefits right there because they got a job. Yes?
It would affect their benefits, and it would affect their medical benefits. So they don't have medical benefits. If you're working, why should we pay you?
Yeah.
Yeah. On the forefront, that makes sense. If you're working, why should we pay you?
Mm-hmm.
However, it doesn't always work that way. Even if you try, there's no support system behind that.
Mm-hmm. And then the other piece of this too, and correct me if I'm off on this, Zylo, I'm just trying to take myself through this journey because I've never personally been on it. But now if I'm thinking about it, and this is the best way that I understand and learn and taking my audience through this. So now if I understand this correctly, so let's say you get that job, you gave up your benefits, and then let's say that, it doesn't work out. And so now you don't have a job. So let's just say that this particular person had a disability that was very specific, that the person that hired them, they were maybe perfect for that job, or maybe they had a thing and for whatever reason it didn't work out. It doesn't mean that they're going to be able to go out and just get another exact job like that. So they're going to possibly be, depending on their disability, depending what it is, they're going to be at a disadvantage. So it might be way harder for them to go and get another job afterwards, depending, right? And so now they have this, but they have two alternatives here. They go and find another job, hopefully, or they start reapplying for benefits again that they originally gave up because they're trying to work. They're trying to do other things, right? And so now they're kind of in this hard place of making this decision of like, okay, and even if they do decide to go get benefits, it's going to be a long process. What do they do in the meantime if they don't have a support system? They could literally be homeless, like you mentioned. Am I understanding all of that correctly?
That's the way it is now.
Yeah.
That is correct. But what I think we should change in doing is a 9-month trial work period. So, and commission based. Okay. Many people just for whatever reason can't get up, don't want to get up today because they, for some whatever reason, on commission based, they get paid. For example, you have a speaker that goes out there and speaks in front of people. They get paid $5,000 speaking in front of those people, and it's commission based. Okay. People who are comedians, they're funny. Okay. They really can go out there and make people laugh. And that should be a part of the 9-month trial work period. If they're doing a good job, it won't affect their benefits after those 9 months, and you're doing good, then they can stop the benefits because they've done the new policy of A, B, C, or D that helps them get off the system and become independent on a commission-based job rather than 9 to 5.
Oh, wow. That makes a lot of sense. And so, and that would unlock a whole lot of workforce, right? Like that's a lot of value there that's not being used. And that's a lot of individuals, but I can see this though. Like I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of someone else. It's it's almost like, to give up that safety net when you don't know what's going to happen and maybe the job doesn't work out. So what do? You probably not everybody. I just mean like a certain percentage of the population just going to say, hey, I can't give up my benefits. It's too much of a risk. I don't have anybody else to maybe help me or if I fall. Like, so I'm just going to collect this benefit and just accept that life is going to play out the way it's going to play out. Wow, that's a hard decision that most people don't have to make, right? Like that's just not like I've never had to make that decision. Put it that way. Like that's different. And the problem with this, or I shouldn't say the problem. I think there's so much opportunity in what you're talking about. So, because for me, I'm a business person, I'm an opportunist. I'm thinking about, wow, there's a lot of people out there that can serve a meaningful function in society and that want to make money, that want to earn, that maybe haven't had the chance to in the past. And if we can figure that out, and that's kind of where I want to go at this part of the conversation. Like, what does it take to figure out? Is there like attorneys, policymakers, like politicians? Like, how does something like this happen so that the needle gets moved in the right direction? Because there's obviously opportunity here.
Yes, if we have politicians devise a plan, okay, we got 50 states, so every state works a little differently. And they look at this and they say, okay, this makes sense here. We can help people get working above and beyond the 9 to 5, because 9 to 5 is not going to work for everybody because of their disability. Because for me, okay, if I were to do a 9 to 5, I don't drive. So how am I going to get there? Okay. So I'm going to use some disabled services that might be an hour late. You're sitting there trying to deal with that on a 9 to 5 job, getting paid $25 an hour. That's very, very difficult. With commission-based, if you have a disabled person at home collecting data for ABC company, let's say there's an ABC company and their job is to collect data. And if they collect 100 piece of data to help the company, then they've got paid a certain amount because they got the data required that benefits their company. So you could do your work in your pajamas. You don't have to get up and go out. And commission based, when you're ready to go out there and do that, you can go out there and work. Whereas 9 to 5, it is very, very challenging, difficult. And in most cases, if you have a headache, you don't feel good, you still got to go and deal with it. And that's hard to deal with for disabled and non-disabled, whereas commission-based makes it much easier.
Because then it's also for performance, right? Like that's the big deal. Is this for performance? And so the other part where that becomes interesting too is that, and I like your 9-month trial period thought process, because then somebody can like have a little bit of an opportunity to understand whether or not it's going to work for them or not before giving up their safety net. Because that safety net could mean, the difference between, having a warm place to stay or not. And, that's a big deal. That's a big decision. I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody that has to make that decision and not know, like that's not an easy one. Talk about a little bit about the, maybe just because I see potential here. I see like hope in my mind of like, I see like there's a lot of untapped potential of people with disabilities that would want to work. Can you talk about like from your experience, like just some of that untapped potential?
Okay, well, I was a realtor, okay, and got paid on commission, okay, and they paid me on a gradual basis because you can only make so much per month. If you make more than that amount, then there's going to be an issue. So with the 9-month trial work period, developing your skill set in what you can do helps people be a part of that system to help the economy better and make it easier for now again, we all know that there are people who are disabled who are not able to work at all. Okay. And that's right. So we got to understand that not everybody can do that, but the percentage of those that want to do more than just be comfortable sitting at home need to be able to have a plan so that they can do that with policymakers to devise this to if you want to go to Social Security and you want to go to plan A, B, or C, or D, and they're all not going to be the same because everybody's disability, personality, situation is different. With the average person going to a job, we all got to deal with the same thing, and you got to do things in the same way. With commission based, you can work when you want to work, but you are doing your job as required by a certain point, or by you got to get this done by tomorrow. You can do it for 8 hours, or you can do 4 hours. But if you don't get it done, then we're going to have some issues. If you get it done, then we're doing great.
Yeah, I see it, Zylo. I think it's great, and I think it's great that you're going out here and really bringing awareness around this issue. So we mentioned before, attorneys, policymakers, politicians. Like, what for something like this to happen? Like, what do you need? Like, how can people support ZyloMarshall.com and your advocacy to make sure that you can go out there and continue to spread this word? Like, what do you need to help and support?
We need speakers. Okay. We need professional speakers that can convey a message very well, to the point, and exactly what we need to help those with disabilities. So if we have speakers out there, then attorneys can help you with legal civil matters. And the speakers can talk about, okay, the politicians we need, and bring them all in together to make it easier for everybody. But the speakers are the ones that convey the message. And that's what's most important to, if you have a person speaking in front of a million people, then that really makes it easier, because now we've changed things and created things that are much easier, because we have a team of 25, 30, 40, 50 people to convey the message that makes sense for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's great. And also, I mean, and any call to action to other individuals with disabilities to get involved in this fight as well. So when you say speakers, I know we talked about attorneys, we talked about politicians, but what about other individuals with disabilities, like getting in the game and becoming advocates?
Yes, there are people out there with disabilities that are speakers that have no problem speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
And then you got those without disabilities that their passion, their love is to help those with disabilities. Those are good speakers too. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not just the disabled. You have people out there that they've gone to college and they want to help the disabled, but they got to find out how they can do that. And that's where they would come in and tell everybody, this is what I'm doing for ZyloMarshall.com. And if we can get 5 people on the website that are part of the team, then they can help be a part of what we're doing for each state, each county, and it'll be a devised plan for everybody.
Amazing. Well, Zylo, it's been great having you on the show today and learning more about your mission and how you're helping. I just have to ask, what's next? I mean, what's next for you? What's next for ZyloMarshall.com?
What's next are attorneys in civil legal matters over inheritance and politicians to devise this. So if we have people that can get hold of me, then they can see what they can offer to the team. If they want to deal with speakers again, then we can see how we can get together and make it easier for the disabled, because that's the objective, and make it easier for the disabled.
Yeah. How do people follow up? How do they connect with you?
They can call me at 916-501-2626. Or they can email me at ZyloMarshall.com or my website, ZyloMarshall.com, or my email address, ZyloMarshall@gmail.com. So it's ZYLOMARSHALL@gmail.com, or my website, which is ZyloMarshall.com.
Fantastic. And for everybody listening, just so you know, just feel free we're going to put some information in the show notes, so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show, each and every day, bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Zylo, man, thanks again for coming on. And I love your work, and just keep it going, man. We'll do all we can to support you. So thank you.
Thank you very, very much.